Well-known Dallas pastor Dr. Tony Evans stepped aside from leading the 10,000-member Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. Evans cited a past sin as the reason for the move after more than 40 years at the pulpit.
What happens when a pillar of faith suddenly steps away from the pulpit under a cloud of unanswered questions? Pastor Tony Evans, revered by many and a guiding light for decades, shocked his congregation with an unexpected resignation, accompanied by vague admissions that left people reeling. His long journey of hope, loss, and leadership has taken a turbulent turn, tangled with personal changes and troubling whispers. Could the man who inspired countless lives now be facing a crisis bigger than any sermon he's ever delivered? The truth behind this heartbreaking moment is more complex than most imagine. The sudden resignation. When Pastor Tony Evans abruptly announced his resignation during a recent service, the shock rippled instantly through the congregation. No one expected such a sudden decision from a man who had been a spiritual leader for decades, guiding thousands every week at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. His brief and vague confession about a past mistake left many stunned and searching for answers that he chose not to reveal. The lack of clarity surrounding his resignation only deepened the mystery and sparked widespread speculation among church members and observers alike. Tony's statement was notably cryptic, hinting at errors without providing any specific details. This unwillingness to elaborate created an atmosphere thick with questions and uncertainty. What exactly had happened? Why now, after so many years of steadfast leadership, would he step down? His congregation, who had long admired his integrity and faith, suddenly found themselves caught between loyalty and confusion. The timing of this announcement also raises important questions, especially since it came after Tony's remarriage to Carla Crummy. This new chapter in his personal life had already attracted public interest, but many wondered if there was a connection between his resignation and his recent marriage. Rumors and theories began to circulate quickly, with some suggesting unresolved issues or hidden complexities behind the scenes. Despite the speculation, very few concrete answers have come to light. Tony's careful silence on the matter has prevented a full understanding of the situation, leaving people to fill in the gaps with their own interpretations. Some view his departure as a sign of accountability, while others fear it signals deeper troubles that may soon emerge. Whatever the truth, the resignation marks a turning point in his life and ministry that cannot be ignored. Adding to the intrigue is the fact that Tony Evans has been a towering figure in Christian leadership for so long. His sermons, books, and radio programs have influenced countless lives, making his resignation resonate far beyond the walls of his church. When someone so trusted admits to a failing, the impact is felt not just personally but throughout the wider community. Still, there is a subtle dignity in his approach, acknowledging mistakes without spilling every detail. This could reflect a desire to protect those involved or an effort to invite forgiveness quietly. Yet, the mystery remains a heavy weight, stirring unease and prompting difficult conversations among his followers. As the congregation grapples with this unexpected change, the memory of Tony's past leadership and personal losses quickly comes into focus, shaping how people process the present moment. Legacy of leadership and loss. Before this storm, Tony Evans stood as a beacon of faith and strong moral conviction for decades. His teachings at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship in Dallas, Texas, attracted tens of thousands weekly, with messages emphasizing faith, family, and integrity. Through sermons, books, and a popular radio program, Tony became more than a pastor. He was a trusted mentor and an influential voice in Christian communities worldwide. His ability to live out the principles he preached earned him deep respect and a special place in the hearts of many. Behind this success was a personal partnership that defined much of his journey. His late wife, Lois Evans. Lois was not just Tony's spouse. She was his steadfast support and an active leader within the church's mission. Known for her warmth, resilience, and generosity, Lois made the church a welcoming place for countless individuals seeking hope and growth. Together, Tony and Lois built a ministry rooted in compassion and service, shaping a legacy that touched thousands. Tragically, in 2019, after a courageous battle with cancer, Lois passed away.
Lois Evans, the wife of Pastor Tony Evans, has died at the age of 70.
Her death devastated Tony, his family, and the entire congregation. Many describe the void she left as profound, marking the end of an era and the beginning of a difficult chapter. Lois's absence was keenly felt not only emotionally, but in the daily life of the church she helped nurture. Tony frequently describes how Lois's faith and partnership provided essential support for his spiritual leadership development. Although she has passed away, her presence continues to guide his professional endeavors and the communal work they perform together. Their 4 children grew up observing their parents who practiced the virtues of faith and love and service to others. Tony used the memory of Lois to find strength and motivation during his grieving process. Tony's life experienced major changes because of his enduring love and partnership with his wife. The congregation held deep respect for their relationship, which made his second marriage a challenging and delicate situation. The church community remembers both the sermons and the family story, which describes their faith development throughout time. Tony's leadership development needs to include the various personal losses which have impacted him throughout his life. People felt sympathy and respect for his ability to withstand emotional pain, yet his recovery process raised doubts about how those life events changed him. The current situation requires us to address the following facts, which exist in our present time. With this history in mind, the introduction of Carla Crummy into Tony's life introduces new dynamics and new challenges that some embraced while others viewed with skepticism. New beginnings with Carla Crummy. Carla Crummy entered the public eye alongside Pastor Tony Evans when they married, marking a significant new chapter in his life. Before becoming Tony's wife, Carla was known for her charisma and compassion as a dedicated teacher and advocate. Her commitment to education and kindness earned her admiration both within and beyond the church community. As a kindness ambassador, she promoted messages of love and respect, which resonated with many who followed her journey. Her marriage to Tony drew mixed reactions, partly because of the strong legacy left by his late wife, Lois. Some saw Carla's arrival as a hopeful sign of healing and fresh beginnings for Tony after his loss. Others felt uneasy, questioning whether it was too soon for such a change or wondering about the nature of their relationship before marriage. These doubts stirred conversation across both the congregation and the wider Christian community. Rumors and gossip about the timing and circumstances of their union began to circulate, with some alleging that their relationship might have started earlier than publicly stated. This speculation created an atmosphere of suspicion and tension, complicating Carla's role in the church and Tony's ministry. Yet, despite the scrutiny, Carla remained steadfast, consistently demonstrating love and support for Tony and the mission they shared. The people who first questioned Carla's intentions later recognized her as a devoted partner during their relationship. She used her personal qualities of empathy and kindness to help Tony through their new challenges, which resulted in her increased influence. Carla demonstrated her dedication through her work with the community, which she supported through her building efforts. The organization faced ongoing difficulties. The public started to show extreme interest, while rumors spread through the community, which created problems for both the marriage and church environment. Some congregants remained resistant, unable to fully accept Carla's presence or the changes it symbolized. Others discovered hope because they believed that Tony would gain new strength when she accompanied him. Carla used her experience as an educator to establish her support role, which enabled her to build connections with church members through mutual learning and shared values. This process helped to reduce some conflicts while establishing connections between people who had previously held doubtful opinions. The Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship experienced a new dynamic because of her increased participation in church activities. Yet just as acceptance began to settle, emerging allegations and Tony's own resignation rattled that progress. The couple's relationship became a subject of inquiry because people wanted to learn about Tony's previous conduct, which led to a deeper examination of Carla's responsibilities. The church encountered a critical situation because it needed to manage three competing elements, which included forgiveness and examination, and the process of discovering the accurate facts. With these relationships and histories in mind, the atmosphere within the church grew more uncertain, paving the way for deeper questions about Tony's resignation and what lies ahead. Lingering questions and rumors. Despite Pastor Tony Evans's long-standing reputation for integrity, his unexpected resignation ignited a whirlwind of questions and rumors that quickly spread through his congregation and beyond. The vague way he referenced a past mistake without offering details left many unsettled, fueling speculation about the nature of the issue. People began to connect the dots between his resignation and his recent marriage to Carla Crummy, causing debates about timing and intention. These whispers intensified as some speculated whether the relationship had begun before his first wife's passing. The church community, typically rooted in trust and solidarity, found itself divided. Some members took Tony's admission as a candid step toward accountability, believing he deserved grace for his honesty. Others grew skeptical, worried that the resignation might conceal deeper problems, potentially involving missteps in leadership or personal judgment. This uncertainty challenged not only Tony's role, but also the stability of the church community that had rallied around him for years. Online forums and social media became hotspots for fervent discussion, where supporters and critics voiced contrasting opinions. Admirers praised Tony for his humility and willingness to confront past errors. Critics, however, questioned whether the timing was appropriate or transparent enough, raising doubts about his future capacity to lead. The lack of concrete answers only allowed rumors to flourish, blurring fact and speculation in equal measure. Carla's role in this narrative also came under scrutiny. As Tony's new wife, many wondered how much influence she had on his recent decisions and whether she was connected to the transgressions he hinted at. Some members of the church viewed Carla with skepticism from the start, hesitant to accept her transition into Tony's life so soon after Lois's passing. This unease deepened as the conversation around Tony's resignation grew more complicated. The notice about Tony and his group members, which lacks details, creates more enigma and drives people to form their own conclusions. The absence of clear information affects both how people perceive things and how the church community maintains its collective spirit. The church community, which exists through faith and open communication, faces special challenges because their leader has not provided clear information about his exit. The members must find a way to balance their admiration for Tony with the rising suspicions about his character. The ongoing speculation about Tony's confession includes possibilities that it connects to events from his previous life, which go beyond his current marriage. Some people claimed the matter should be treated as a personal issue, which had no connection to the church ministry, while others believed it would impact church administrative matters. The absence of official announcements permitted these theories to develop unrestricted, which resulted in a major gap of confusion and distrust. A portion of the church members maintains their belief in Tony while they remain unable to pass judgment on him. They stress the fundamental need to practice faith and extend forgiveness while people should be granted time to repent. The optimistic view believes that time will show the truth about Tony's leadership results because the unknown accusations should not minimize his past achievements. The church community's turbulence sets the stage for examining the broader impact of Tony Evans's departure on Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship itself. Impact on Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. Tony Evans's resignation sent shockwaves through Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship, a church known for its vibrant congregation and powerful message. For decades, Tony's leadership helped transform it into a spiritual hub, drawing tens of thousands weekly. His distinct preaching style and commitment to biblical principles created a culture that many found life-changing.
In his 40-plus years of ministry, he's built a thriving church and served as the chaplain of the Dallas Cowboys.
Losing a leader of this magnitude inevitably leaves a significant void, one that members feel deeply in their faith journeys and daily worship. The uncertainty about who will succeed Tony or how the church's direction may shift adds to the community's anxiety. Many have grown accustomed to Tony's unique approach, which blends theological insight with practical life guidance. His departure raises concerns regarding continuity, whether a new leader can replicate his influence, or if Oak Cliff will face substantial changes in tone and mission.
Is the Reverend Tony Evans of Oak Cliff Bible Ship.
Congregants are left wondering how this transition will affect their spiritual home. The church leadership must now navigate difficult decisions, balancing respect for Tony's legacy with the need to move forward. Questions about restructuring, new pastoral roles, and maintaining membership engagement dominate internal conversations. The timing of Tony's resignation, so close to his remarriage, further complicates perceptions of stability. Church elders and boards face pressure to provide reassurance while managing the realities of a major leadership shift. Carla Crummey's role within the church also remains uncertain and widely debated. Known for her teaching skills and kindness, some members see potential in her taking on greater responsibilities, supporting the church through this challenging period. Others remain uneasy, concerned about how her presence might influence church politics or public perception, particularly given the rumors that have surrounded her and Tony's relationship. This tension adds layers to the already complex transition. Outside the immediate congregation, the broader Christian community watches closely. Tony Evans has been a figure whose teachings extended far beyond Dallas, with his radio broadcasts and books reaching global audiences. His resignation raises questions about the ripple effects in those wider circles, whether his followers everywhere will experience a similar sense of loss or confusion. The influence Oak Cliff holds means its stability or upheaval matters far beyond local walls. Financially and operationally, the church will need to adjust as well. The departure of a long-term leader can impact donations, program development, and community outreach, all crucial to the church's mission. Maintaining momentum while addressing internal wounds will require careful management and clear vision. The congregation's faith will be tested as they face uncertainty about resources and future initiatives. During periods of upheaval like this, a church's true strength often comes from its members' unity and faithfulness. Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship's response will be a testament to the community Tony helped build. As the church begins to adapt, the question remains, what lies ahead for Tony Evans himself and the path he must walk going forward? The road ahead for Tony Evans. The future for Pastor Tony Evans remains uncertain as he faces the challenge of rebuilding his life and reputation after stepping down. Known for his unwavering faith and leadership, Tony now walks a difficult path marked by questions and the need for healing. Many of his followers continue to hope that through honesty and reflection, he can find a way to regain trust and restore his standing in the Christian community. Yet, this journey will require patience and transparency in the months and years to come. One key step forward will likely involve Tony addressing the vague confession that prompted his resignation. Openness about the nature of his past mistake could help reduce speculation and bring clarity to the situation. Transparency often serves as a foundation for forgiveness, allowing both the offended community and the individual to move toward reconciliation. Without this, the cloud of uncertainty may persist, causing continued division and doubt among supporters. Beyond public confessions, Tony may also need to lean on close friends, family, and spiritual advisors for guidance and strength. Support from trusted individuals can provide much-needed encouragement during times of intense scrutiny and personal struggle.
We should love people, care about people, regardless of where they come from. But we're talking about an institution now.
His new wife, Carla Crummey, could play an important role in this process, offering compassion and stability as he navigates a path forward. Together, they may find ways to rebuild both personal and ministerial foundations. Retreating from the public eye temporarily might also offer Tony the space required for reflection and renewal. Many leaders facing setbacks find that stepping back allows them to heal away from the spotlight, regain perspective, and work through challenges more effectively. This kind of self-care is essential to maintaining long-term resilience and preparing for a potential return to ministry or leadership. The main theme of Tony's story shows that faith exists together with forgiveness and redemption. The principles which he has followed throughout his life now require him to practice their teachings in his daily existence. The upcoming challenges will evaluate his integrity and perseverance, yet they also provide him with a chance to discover new life objectives. The spiritual development process requires people to face difficult times, which Tony's life experiences will prove as a true demonstration. The Christian community observes Tony closely because they expect him to display his response through visible signs. People from different backgrounds want him to demonstrate both humility and sincerity while he handles every challenge which lies ahead. People proceed with caution because they understand that trust restoration maintains multiple stages throughout an extended period. The way Tony handles this phase of his life will influence not only his legacy, but also how others facing similar trials find hope. Tony's future remains uncertain because people want to know whether he will resume his public ministry or pursue another path. Some people believe he will dedicate himself to smaller service activities which allow him to rebuild his public image. Some people believe his experience and wisdom will bring important value to the faith community after he completes his healing process. His upcoming path will present him with numerous options to explore. Pastor Tony Evans's unexpected resignation has left many searching for answers amid hope and uncertainty. His story reminds us that even the strongest leaders face trials, and that redemption is a journey requiring truth and grace. If you found this overview insightful, please like and subscribe to stay updated on this developing story and more. Thank you for watching.